Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris coming at you with another episode to the Beautiful Struggle podcast. And this is episode number 104, where we talk about personal development and business all on the same podcast. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, feel free to join the family, join the community. We drop a new episode every single Monday of the week. We're doing a lot of great things on here, having a great time. We're also having a lot of phenomenal guests on the podcast. And today we have another great guest, and a little bit about my guest today. He is a productivity coach, a speaker. He's also the host of his own podcast, On the Pursuit podcast. And man, when we're talking about mindset, we're talking about success. This guy really, really knows his stuff, and he knows what he's talking about. He's also the author of a book called The Secret to Success Playbook. Welcome, Brendan Boyd. How you doing, bro?
Hey man, listen. First of all, I wanna thank you for that intro, man. That intro is
Yeah.
spicy. I
I
really
got to do it
appreciate it.
right.
And being episode 104, that's crazy too. Like
It's
I
crazy,
just
bro.
gotta commend you for that commitment. A lot of
Hmm.
people start podcasts, and they may get up to a couple of episodes. They get some
Hmm.
momentum, and then they just get sidetracked or it just dies down. You go back and look for the podcast. They got like 4 or 5 episodes. It was like 8, 9 months ago. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
so just within that, your commitment, it speaks volume to the level of acumen that you have,
Hmm.
also to your level of discipline and consistency and commitment into your own podcast. So I'm definitely honored to be here, man. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me on.
man. Well said. I really appreciate that for sure. I think I don't know what the statistic is, but I think most podcasters stop podcasting after episode 7. Like they put up 7 episodes and that's it.
A word,
So
I got 7 right now.
okay, you got to put out one more then
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
get out.
So that's funny. So I got 17 done.
Okay.
I just posted episode 7 on Wednesday, like this
Hmm.
past week, right? So, the other ones are definitely gonna come out. But what's interesting to hear you say that is that my first attempt at doing a podcast was back when I was living in Boston. If
Mm.
I could just share a quick little
No,
story.
go ahead.
And it's literally through my love of networking, conversation,
Hmm.
sharing stories, and building with people. And I didn't really put it on a podcast platform. I just shot 15 YouTube, visual
Yeah,
cast,
yeah.
so
Hmm.
visual podcast. And at the time, it was called service only because I wanted to be in the service of others. So
Mm.
that's kind of like what the whole theme was. And I was inspired by, like, oddly
Hmm.
enough, like a gas station, because
Yeah.
you go to a gas station, you get served up, you get the gas,
Hmm.
and then you're on your way. So I was just like, yo,
Hmm.
that's dope. So for me, it's like service only. I'm able to serve my community, serve the people that I'm having on, then obviously share some amazing stories. So to your point, I actually doubled that. I got to episode 15, and
Mm.
I don't even remember what happened
Mm.
as to why I stopped. But like you said,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
statistic is saying after seven episodes, for me it was 15. And then from there, I probably took about a year and a half off. A lot of
Gotcha.
things happened to my life, ended up moving to LA. And in the midst of that, I started a brand called Pursuit, like the
Mm.
pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of your goals,
Hmm.
and the pursuit of your goals and dreams,
Love
PRST.
that.
And again, my love of conversations and wanting to network and build community and share stories that came back to me. And I was like, well, there's nothing better than for me to continue on the brand I established on the side, and just kind of give that a little bit more clarity, give that a little bit more voice, and then just kind of leverage my own assets there. So
Yep.
then I named this one On the Pursuit podcast, because I wanted
Mm.
to chronicle people that were on the pursuit of great things, whether you build something or in the midst of building something. That's what I wanted to share. So new podcast brand,
Yeah.
similar energy.
Yep.
And like I said, I got 17 done, and seven are up currently. So
No, that's super dope. And it's funny because I listened to one of the episodes. Oh man, I forgot the name of the gentleman that I was listening to on YouTube. I forgot. I just know he's from
what was
East
the topic?
Africa. He's from East Africa.
Oh, yo, cool. So it was probably Uni.
Yeah, I think that was him. He's from East Africa, and you guys were talking about how you guys did the 75 hard challenge, right?
Yep.
I actually went through that myself a couple, what was it? Maybe a couple years ago, honestly. But I mean, I'm curious, how was your experience? And for the people that don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, 75 hard, it's been a minute, but 75 hard, you go 75 days straight without with drinking 1 gallon of water a day, with reading 10 pages out of a book, a personal development book, working out twice a day. One of the workouts has to be indoor, the second one has to be outdoor. And then as far as like your eating habits, no cheat meals, no nothing for 75 days. Am I missing one?
No, that's everything, man. That's
Yeah.
everything. I think they have about 2 or 3 iterations. Like they got level 1, level 2, level 3. But you're right on the head with level 1. You know, like you said, a gallon of water, 2 workouts. One has to be outside. Commit to a diet. No cheat meals, no drinking, no smoking. So that's the plan. Some people may have their own iteration, like, yo, I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna still drink, or I'm gonna do that, but only do it 6 days. That ain't 75 hard. That's what you need to do. My experience has been great. For me, the reason why I actually wanted to do it is because I wanted a deeper commitment to myself.
Yeah.
I wanted a deeper commitment to where I wanted to be in the next 6 months. You know, at the time that I embarked on that journey, and to be very transparent, it was growing amazing, bro. I made it to day 51. And the reason why I had a stop at 51 is because I'm in the groove. I'm at the crib. The hardest part for me was getting the water. Now, drinking the water wasn't a problem, but it was just like I wasn't drinking it straight. So I would drink, like, let's say half a gallon in the middle in the morning, and then things would happen and I would end up with like half a gallon of drink before midnight. That happened a bunch of times, but normally I rise to the occasion. On this particular night, I was in the crib, I was in the zone, I was in workflow. I had the remaining maybe like, you know, a quarter of water left or whatever the case may be. My laptop was next to me. But I was just in the zone. I was in super workflow. I looked at the timer. It was like 10:30. I was like, cool, I'm gonna crush this. Ain't no problem. I got an hour and a half. But then I just got like super focused on what I was doing. Next time I looked up, bro, it was 12:05. And the biggest part of the program is integrity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
talk about it.
I don't know if I can swear on this. And I was like, yo. So, you know, I wasn't hard on myself, but I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But I picked up some amazing habits. So my second workout, I generally, for the most part of the time, I made it a walk. So every day, regardless if I'm getting a workout or not, I walk. So I walk at least 45 minutes around my neighborhood or wherever. Maybe I go on a hike. But I definitely get that in. That slow burn cardio, it's a must. It also helps me to alleviate anything that's on my mind. Also helps me to be a little deeper and focus on the idea that I may have too. So it kind of works. It works, you know, both ways. So I picked up that amazing habit. The reading I was already doing. I kind of employ this thing that I call 20/20, which is 20 minutes of a real book, 20 minutes of an audio book. I do that every day. 20/20, that technique alone helped me to read 85 books in a year.
Wow.
Just with that simple technique, it's 40 minutes a day. So I was always doing that. The diet, I'm plant-based, so I mean, there's certain things I don't eat anyway, so that's not really a struggle. So for me, it was really just the water. And it was really just psychologically, like when I decided to drink the water versus not drinking. But since then, I had a bunch of starts. And I just made a deeper commitment with myself about a week ago. So now I'm doing 75 hard again, but really it's my first checkpoint because I'm really doing 6 months hard. So it's 60 days, it's 75 days is checkpoint 1, 90 days is checkpoint 2, and then 60 days is my third. 6 months is my third checkpoint. I'm really, right now in my life, I'm extremely focused on a breakthrough, on a quantum leap breakthrough. I know that for me, because I know myself. So for me to do this, I have to be very, very focused, very, very intentional. And this is one of the things I teach in both of my programs right now. committing to your non-negotiables. We all have non-negotiables. We all have non-negotiable patterns. That might be taking a shower, tying your shoe, brushing your teeth, doing your hair, combing your beard, washing your face. These are things that we all do without thinking. They're just patterns. And because they touch and because they take such low energy, we don't even think about them. They become a pattern, they become a routine. So when you start to take action on things intentionally that you want to accomplish, and you psych yourself out, you brainwash yourself to believe, okay, these are now my new non-negotiable low vibrational thinking patterns. That's when you really start to see progress. Because if every day you're going to work on your business, or if every day you're going to read a book, every day you're going to do research on crypto or research on stocks, whatever you want to move the needle in, do an hour a day of it, 30 minutes a day of it. You're going to come out on the other side an expert or an authority or the influencer in that space. And if you're building a business, you're going to find success after that. There's no way. There's no way that you're not. Like, everyone's an expert at taking a shower. Oh, well, I would hope so. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, everyone's an expert at the non-low vibrational energy things that you do every single day just to leave your house. Everyone's pretty much got that dialed in. So when you brainwash yourself into thinking that, okay, these things that I really need to do in my business are these non-starters as well, then they just become easy to do.
No, I heard that. So you said a lot there, and I want to unpack a couple of things. So first of all, I totally agree with you when you say, an hour, 30 minutes a day of doing research, reading, or whatever it is to get you closer to your goal. That's kind of like a theory that I have. I try to get 1% better every single day. And at the end of the year, you're going to be so much better than you were than before. But a lot of people think of doing things and they think, oh, I need to spend like 8 hours a day. And you could, researching, becoming an expert, but really the growth is taking a little bit bite-sized every single day. And you'll see a lot more growth doing that, in my opinion, in my experience. Doing 8 hours here and then 8 hours next week or whatever, all over the place, it's not consistent. And I find more growth with being more consistent and doing, the little things every single day.
You know what's crazy? If people just think about when they were back in high school or college, or if you're in high school and college and you're an entrepreneur or whatever the case may be, business owner, think about how your day is structured. You got 45 minutes of this, an hour 30 of this. You got 30 minutes of this. Food's available at this time only if you want lunch or if you want dinner, And then some days you may do one class or course that you're not going to do on the other days, but it's every Thursday at 6 or every Tuesday at 3:15. So if you start to run your life in that same structure that we all experience, and maybe some of us are currently experiencing, that's going to get you to, like you said, that 1%. Minimum at the end of the year, you got 360% better or 65% better at that thing. And this is if you're only getting 1% better. Some days you may end up doing 2 hours of that thing because you're in deep workflow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you just take a lesson from what we all experience and have that structure, and you apply that structure to the things that you really want in your life, I might even be spending time with, your son, daughter, girlfriend, moms, you know what I'm saying? Not just your business, just where in life do you want to improve? Where in life do you find it's important for you to want to spend your time with intention because you want to improve in that area, or you like or love to do that thing,
Absolutely. And I want to ask a question from maybe the listener's perspective. They may be hearing our conversation right now, and I love a lot of what you're saying because it's very relatable. But there might be some people in the audience that are like, yo, some of the things that you guys are talking about, especially you, it's extreme. Like, why do I got to do all that? Why do I got to go 75 hard? What is the purpose of doing that? What is the purpose of, getting after it every single day, little by little? Talk to the people out there that may have that perspective, because there may be a group of people out there that are looking at everything we're talking about and they're just like, damn, that's like Mount Everest. I don't know if I can do that. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty damn difficult. Talk to the people out there that may think like that.
So the first thing I want to say is everyone's different.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the first thing that you need to understand is that everyone's different and everyone's path is not your path. Um, I think the second thing that you should ask yourself, or just come to realize, is like, where am I on my self awareness, spectrum? You know, how self aware am I with my commitment level or my level of wanting something or wanting to change? Self awareness is really what's going to actually guide you through a lot of this stuff.
That's key
So
right there.
a small percentage of your impact in your day can happen before you even leave your room.
Mm.
So it starts with like healthy habits. Like, what are you doing when you first open your eyes? So I would just start there. You know, for some people, it may be just, you know what? I'm just gonna get up earlier, because if I have an extra 30 minutes, if I have an extra hour, then I can then go to the gym, or I can maybe eat in the morning because I don't eat in the morning. And then that becomes a little thing that you start to master. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
for some people it might be, I'm gonna keep a journal by my bed, or I'm gonna pull my phone up and then I'm gonna just do notes in my phone. I'm gonna just journal on my phone. That's another healthy habit to help you get thoughts that may not be fully processed, or ideas that you may want to formulate into the future. Like, I would just start there. Sometimes, like you said, I'm someone on a path of personal development. So, and I know myself, I'm very self-aware. So I know I need like some hardcore structure. And for me, it's not even hardcore. It's just like, this is next, this is next, this is next, because that's what's going to take for me to get where I want to go, because I'm very self-aware about who I am. So I think once a listener or a viewer, or whatever the case may be, once they're able to get more self-aware and they try different techniques, different strategies, are open to conversations like we're having, like there may be one gem in here that may spark you to attempt something. I would just start there, because you don't need to like, oh, I heard Brendan talking about all of this stuff on Chris's podcast. There's no way I'm going to do all these things. I don't want you to. Just commit to one thing that you feel is good for what you want to do, for where you are in your life, and commit to it for 7 days and see what happens on the other side of that.
No, I love that. There's definitely a lot of gems that are being dropped already. We just started. But what I want to do, what we usually do on this podcast, is we dive into your story, your background. So I know we spoke about a lot, but I love to go back a little bit. Are you from Boston? Is that where you grew up? And what made you come to LA and all that?
So yeah, originally I'm from Boston. I've been in Boston the majority of my life,
So
and
are you a Celtics fan?
you know what? I'm a universal fan. I'm a
Okay.
universal fan of all Boston sports, to be honest. I
Okay.
mean, I've been blessed in my lifetime to see all of our teams win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
The soccer team, they made it to the championship a couple times. They didn't win, but I still had the opportunity to see all of our teams either win, a championship, or be in the finals, or whatever the case may be. And a lot of people don't have that opportunity, that even one of their team make it in a lifetime. So I've been blessed that basketball, football, baseball, hockey, and even soccer made it to the last game. So yeah, originally from Boston. The business that I'm in right now isn't my first business. I started a business back when I was in college. I ran basketball leagues in the city of Boston. I did that for about 6 years. Um, I saw even back then that there was a void of like a competitive league in the city, that if you were older than 18, that you could participate in. That was like fun. It's like New York at the Rucker. You know what I'm saying? So my inspiration back then was to create a fun environment like that like dudes can pull up to, whether you were hooping or not. We had music. There was ladies out. I was getting content back then. I had live Twitter updates back then. I had a website that you can go check on the stats of your team back then. So there were some things that I was doing that are kind of like common now, that were like a little ahead of the time at that time.
And what year
But I
was
did that for about 6 years, and
what year was that?
that was like 2000 to like 2006.
Wow.
And then I did a one-off league in 2010. That was my last one. And the reason why I stopped doing the league in like 06 was because I started my new business. My brother, who passed away, him and a best friend of mine, they introduced me to my former business partner, and he had a vision to start a clothing company, and I was right with the vibe, so I was like, yeah, bro, let's do it. So we started selling T-shirts out the trunk of my car. That was around 05, 06. And then my mindset then was like, I saw that I felt as though there was more trajectory in the clothing company at the time. And when oftentimes, not now, but back then, I would think back like I should have just kept the leads going too, because that would have been a great opportunity to leverage, that network and that community. But I saw that there was more of a opportunity in fashion. So I kind of went, I committed all the way into that. I stopped the leagues. Me and my business partner started rolling with that. And that league, that brand did very well. It did very well. It was culturally impactful. We made 7 figures one time. A lot of celebrity artists, actors, a couple movies we were in, tons of videos.
You said the name of the brand? Or is it
Society Original Products out of Boston.
Okay.
So to me, the 2 biggest things that always touch me when I think about the brand was number 1, we did a collaboration with Colette. Colette was a renowned fashion boutique in Paris. And before I was even having this clothing company at the time, Colette was it. It was like the pinnacle of like fashion boutiques. And we were able to do a collaboration with them before they closed their doors. Like that final year, we were able to do a T-shirt and some accessories from our brand. And then I was actually in Paris that final weekend.
Wow.
That they shut their doors, and I got to see like our brand name on a placard, and then like our clothing on the shelf. And that, to me, that was crazy for me to see that and to kind of be in that movement. And then the second most impactful thing that we did that I always, go back and have a moment. We actually created the jogger sweatpant, that style. So right now, if anyone's listening, whether you own a pair of joggers or maybe used to wear them, they're basically just a sweatpants that's a little slim fit. And then at the bottom of that, they got the ribbon. And that ribbon allows you to see your shoe or highlight your boot or whatever you got going on.
Like a cup.
We actually created that pattern, but we didn't trademark it, license it, or nothing. We didn't come out with like a press release. We didn't have no official rollout. We just put it out, sold it, and then it started to be duplicated. So those 2 things that we did during my time in fashion, those were probably the biggest things, the most impactful things that we did in fashion. And then fast forward, I came to LA because I just needed to grow. I needed more. And Boston's a small city, and knowing everybody, and there's no more land that can be developed there. I needed some new vibrations for me to go to my next level.
So when you seen people duplicating your product, what was your mindset behind that? Were you like, okay, this is kind of dope that what I created is blowing up? Were you upset? Like, what was your mindset when you were going through that process?
Definitely like, oh shit. Well, I don't know if we can swear.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Definitely like, oh man.
No, you good. Don't worry about it, bro.
So yeah. So definitely like, oh shit. We missing the opportunity. So that was definitely number 1. And then number 2 is like, yo, we just dropped the ball majorly. You know what I'm saying? And that's honestly why we ended up breaking up, because our organizational skills weren't that, our managerial skills weren't that. There was definitely a lot of ego involved during the latter years of our brand. My business partner, we would bump heads over like basic decisions, and then we're at a stalemate on certain things, and then we just never got a decision because he wasn't going to budge, I wasn't budging, and so it just didn't get done. And then we could never come to an agreement on like bringing in like a neutral party that could just manage the brand, right?
Right.
So that was just kind of like that jogger situation. That jogger fumble was like a microcosm of like why the brand is no longer here in the way that it was once appreciated by consumers. So yeah, man, it was a major fumble. I mean, that's $1 million. I mean, that's a multi-billion-dollar like pattern. Like I mean, I ain't gonna hold it. It's like it's multi-billion-dollar
No, it's
pattern.
everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah, so like we could have definitely been like making royalties on that 100%. But yeah, I mean, you don't know what you don't know. We didn't have
Yeah.
business mentors back then. You know, so it is what it is. But we learned a lot from that situation. But yeah.
Absolutely. So after that, you transitioning to LA. Have you ever had been to LA at that point, or was this just all brand new? LA was brand new.
No. So being in the fashion industry, what happened
You were
was
always out there.
we would go to Vegas
Mm,
twice a year for the fashion trade shows. The biggest one was Magic, so we would go to Magic twice a year, and started to develop friendships because a lot of the brand owners were living in Cali. There were some production houses that were in Cali as well, so we developed relationships on the resources and the production as well, along with actual friends that some I still have from that time, like really good people. One of my best friends I met, he's in fashion. He live out in Cali. Then I had some friends in Boston that were in the music entertainment industry. They had moved out here. So when we go to Vegas, I would just extend the trip. Like we'd be in Vegas for like 3, 4, 5 days, and I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do another 3, 4 days in California, LA specifically.
mm-hmm.
So every time I do that, it was in February, then again in August. I'm like, yo, this feels right. I gotta come back out here.
That's what's
I
up.
definitely want to move. Definitely want to move. So yeah, I just knew that was gonna be my next destination after Boston.
And how was that transition? Going from Boston, where it's a little bit smaller, and then going to LA, where you've been obviously multiple times, but now you're actually living out here and you're going to be working out here. What was that transition like? And what was your mindset at that time looking like?
Yo, to be honest with you, I was ready for it, man, because
Mm-hmm.
if anyone is listening to this, if they know me, I've been talking about the Cali move for like a minute, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like a strong minute. So I was ready, man. Again, I'm gonna bring it back to self-awareness. I knew that another day, another week, another month, another season in Boston wasn't gonna serve me. You know, like it just wasn't. There was no one knew I could know. I'm doing real estate at the time. I enjoy selling homes and helping people buy homes. But again, it's like I'm not inspired the same way, you know? My creativity is not flowing. So I just knew that I had to bust this move. So, I was able to get the money together, save some money. I came out here a couple of times. One of my homies let me crash on his couch, on 3 separate occasions until I was able to find a spot. And then once I found a spot, I dropped that deposit, and then boom, I set the date, and then that was really it. I'm not someone that holds on to a lot of stuff. So there was a lot of things in Boston I just kind of let go of, or passed on or donated or whatever. So it kind of made my transition much easier. And then when I got out here, it was just like, yo, my mindset is meeting more people, networking as much as I can. I wanted to do real estate, so there was a time constraint on, when I had to actually get that license, because I had to start all over. Right. And then, pandemic happened and all of that. But I was able to be crafty in terms of making bread while I was waiting for this real estate license to kick off. And then lo and behold, I started a coaching business, on the other side of that. So I just knew this is where I was going to be. And I can't even say I would be the same person if I would have stayed in Boston.
Wow, that's amazing. So let's jump into the coaching business. I know this is when you started the podcast or the brand pursuit and whatnot. Talk about you creating that brand, and why you wanted to do it and why you even wanted to jump into coaching.
Cool. So let's talk about Pursuit real quick. So Pursuit. So okay, I'm gonna bring it back to when we were in fashion for a hot second. So when we were in fashion, I was very I want to say one-track minded, in the sense of my business partner, he was a creative, right? He designed everything. He was a creative director, all the aesthetics. I handle business development, marketing, sales, negotiation, logistics. I hit the road. You know what I'm saying? Like I put all the seed strategy together for us to grow and build our brand awareness and get get product on different people. So I did all of that. So my mindset at that point was like, okay, he's a creative person. I'm the business person or I'm the marketing person. I never once thought of myself as being a creative. So fast forward when our brand, came to an end in like 2014, I took a hiatus for fashion. And honestly, to be real with you, it wasn't until 2018 that I actually looked at myself as a creative. And then Pursuit came in 2019 just as a side project for me to continue my love for fashion and then being able to have some merchandise and be able to wear my own brand. So that brand isn't a brand that I'm looking to extremely monetize and grow to a 7-figure business. It's more of just like my expression of my creativity side and my way to inspire and motivate people through the clothing medium. So that's how that brand started. And then coaching started basically July of 2000. I was out and about and I was feeling the vibes, and I just knew that I was gonna have a productive July. So I put my phone up, selfie mode, and I was do a story like, "Yo, I'm gonna have a productive July. If anyone's feeling like me, respond to this poll." And that's literally how it started. And 35 people responded to that poll. This was on a Friday. And then I was like, yo, we're going to start Monday. I didn't have no idea what we were going to do. I didn't have no plan. I didn't have no program at the time.
What you mean we're going to start Monday?
Well, I knew it was Friday night, Friday evening, and I knew we was going to start Monday. And 5 people responded. 5 people responded, and it was like, yo, I'm down. What do we got to do? And I was like, yo, listen, I'm launching a beta program. If you really want in, it's $10 a day. It's going to be $300 for the month. So if you're really committed to this change, you're going to pay the $300. It's only $10 a day. So a lot of people didn't fill off, but there was 5 people that was like, yeah. So I just made a quick $1,500, but I still had no program. So I was like, okay, I got to come up with something by Monday because I'm telling these people Monday. So that weekend, specifically Saturday, I spent some time and I developed a program that I call the Millionaire Mindset that has been rebranded at this point. But that was a 30-day program that focused on building a positive morning routine. It guaranteed a breakthrough because it literally, if you did the program, you would have a breakthrough. It guaranteed a breakthrough, guaranteed personal growth, and it helped you to create new habits. So that's literally how it started. And that was me one-on-one coaching. So I did that for about 4 or 5 months. And, the price changed from 300 to 400 to 500 to 750 to 1,000. And then when it was at 1,000, I was just like, one-on-one coaching ain't it. I need to figure out how I can really scale this situation. And then that's when I started to invest in the high-level coaching. Because when I first started doing this beta program, I actually invested in a program so I could get certified as a coach, because I felt like I needed a foundation. I needed to understand the mechanics, the methodology, the psychology, and all of that. So I was taking that program while I was coaching people at the same time. And that's exactly how it started.
That's crazy because, people can say what they want about that story and how you started. But I love it because it really speaks to you just starting. Just do it. You know what I'm saying? If it feels good, if it feels right, then just go ahead and do it. And there's a lot of people out there that have that feeling. They'll get that, they'll have that mindset, but they just won't do it. They won't start. They won't take that first step. And you didn't even know what was going to happen. You had 2 days to figure it out and you still did it. You know what I'm saying? There's people that have been, thinking about their idea, plotting their ideas, coming up with extravagant business plans. 2 years later, they still haven't dropped what they wanted to do. And you said, no, we're going to do it. We're going to figure it out. I love that.
Yeah, 100%, man. I because I knew once I figured out the product I was going to deliver to them, I knew that it was going to work. So at this point, it was just like, okay, let's just set it up and let me get a flow that made sense for the program. And then after that, we was kind of off to the race.
And you mentioned that you wanted to start investing in coaches, and you were like, yo, the one-on-one program isn't where it's at. where do you go from there, and what did you create after that?
Yo, that's an amazing question, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. I knew that obviously obviously everyone wants their business to grow. You want to scale. Scale sounds like a cool thing to say. It's a buzzword. Everyone wants more money. You want abundance. You want your business to grow. Mm-hmm. So I definitely wanted to scale and wanted to grow my coaching business. I wanted to figure out how I could do that. But on the other side of that, I really wanted to impact, and I truthfully want to impact more people. I want to help more people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I want to have an impact on more people's lives. I want people to not see life how I see it. I want them to see it through their own eyes of interpretation, but understand that they can get to where they need to go, or where they dream or aspire to go. So for me, it's through the reading, because I told you 2020, I read 85 books. One book in particular, the 1 Minute Millionaire, which is a book that I read 3 times. I read it once on just regular book, twice on audiobook. And it's a book that I highly recommend. I recommend all my clients to read it when they start my program. Now, the 1 Minute Millionaire is a story that breaks down a story, but in 2 ways, like left brain hemisphere and right brain hemisphere. So if you're super analytical, you can understand it. But if you're more of a story time person and you need visuals and the actual, a journey, you can understand it. And you can actually see like the, people are able to see this. You can see like the millionaire breakdown behind me. Yep. So how I looked at it is one of the key principles in the book is talking about just like leveraging and duplication, and how you can get to your goals by helping more people get to their goals. Mm-hmm. So by you providing a solution and you're able to help more and more people, you are able to then get the reward, which is you getting to where you want to go. Mm-hmm. Yep, so for me, it was like, how am I able to have the most impact and help the most people? Well, first I have to help myself, right? So that came with more investing in myself. So I got another coaching program. And another thing that I like to teach people, and if they don't already know, is you definitely tap into this. When it comes to selling something or even having a client for your product or your service, you first have to believe that you would spend the money for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now I'm going to take you back to, in my coaching journey, I done spent close to $50,000 so far, minimum, right? I bought a 5K program. I've gotten a 10K coach. I've gotten a 12K coach. I bought the 2K, the 2,500 situations. I bought the 500, 750. Now, again, I'm not saying that you need to spend all this coin, because I grab all the free stuff too. But people at Louis Vuitton, people at Gucci, people that own Bentley and Rolls Royce and McLaren and Lambo, the value is in the product being, okay, I'm going to price it at this point because this is what I expect, because I know the value exchange at this point for me. So if you want someone to buy a course for you that's 3K, 4K, 5K, well, are you that customer? Would you actually spend that money yourself to make that purchase? And if the answer is no, you can't expect to sell that product at that price point, because that energy is going to transfer. You're not going to do no sales. So for me, going back to that book, I know, okay, it has to be a leverage play. I have to figure out, okay, what's my goal? So if my goal is to sell $1 million, my goal is to gross $1 million. I need to have a product that, I'll give you 2 breakdowns.
Can you also break down the poster in the back for the people that can't see it?
Yeah, so the poster in the back, let me see, let me adjust the camera real quick.
Yeah.
So the poster in the back, it's $1 million breakdown. So you got $1 million a year breaks down to $83,333 a month, which breaks down to $19,230 a week, which breaks down to $27,039 a day. Now, a lot of people may look at this and they may be like, yo, that looks crazy. How am I gonna make $2,700 a day? How am I gonna make $83,000 in a month? I don't even make that in a year. How can I do that? Well, one of the things I teach in one of my programs is the value of, hold on, what just happened? The value of high ticket sales. So if you had a product that costs 10K, 8 customers helping 8 people is 8,000. I mean, it's 80,000. 8 people if you got a 10K product. So if you got a 5K product, that's just 16 people. Can you help 16 people? I got 8,000 people on my phone. And most people are sitting on thousands of people on their phones that they never call, or got an email list that they never hit up, or got a text message list that they never send text messages to, or got followers that they never engaged to. But if you had a 10K product, you only need 8 people or 16 people, right? So when I looked at it like that, I'm like, okay, if my goal is to sell, gross $1 million, and I got a 5K product, that means I need to help. I need to have 200 transformations. You're not selling anything. People are buying stuff every single day. So whether or not you're a salesperson because you got an issue with calling yourself a salesperson, you're buying stuff just like the next person. Everyone is trading. It's a trade. Life is a trade. You're trading this for that. You're buying this for that. You're bartering or you're selling. You're exchanging. So if you're afraid to put it out there, that same customer that's willing to pay that 5K or more, they're just gonna buy it for someone else that actually has the offer. So you could be actually the perfect person for them with the perfect product, but either you don't have that offer, that offer version of your product, or you didn't develop it yet, but there's someone else that is either not as skilled as you, that doesn't offer your same value, that doesn't care or isn't as passionate as you are for your customers, and they're gonna buy theirs. So you're doing yourself and them a disjustice because you don't have your thing available, and it's because you might be afraid.
So what would you say to the person out there that has a product that is a high ticket item, and they do believe they do believe that they're willing to pay for that product themselves. They do believe it's worth 5,000 and 4,000. They would pay that themselves any day of the week, but maybe they're still having trouble getting it out there or having trouble making sales. What would you say to the people out there?
So that's definitely one of the things that I teach in my program, the Daily Beast, which is a 90-day program, right? So we talk about getting clients, we talk about doing sales, and then that self-confidence in your business. So one of the things I would explain to them or encourage them to do is, what are you doing right now to get clients, right? So generally, the average entrepreneur, they're just doing word of mouth and referrals. So what they do is they spend all this time crafting a brand, crafting a product, making a pretty website, figuring out price points that may be less than what they should be offering. They do all these things to put the business together, but they spend no time on actually building relationships and getting clients. You know what I'm saying? So what I would say to them is, do you have an email list? Are you working that? Are you providing value through your email list? Are you collecting numbers? Do you have a text message list? Do you have a following on Instagram? Do you have a following on TikTok or YouTube or whatever? Are you using any of these resources? If you're not, or you're posting casually, again, you're not connecting with your audience, right? So to get your stuff out there more, it's gonna come down to consistency, right? That discipline. What do I need to do? Do I need to send out an email a day, a couple of emails a week, a text message a day, a couple text messages, a couple text messages a week? Do I need to explain my product better on social? Do I need to break down the service? Do I need to break down the value? Do I need to get on more podcasts? The main thing I would say is, like, okay, where are your customers hanging out? The first thing is like knowing your customer avatar. What do they look like? What do they hang out at? Demographic, male, female. Do they like this? Do they like that? Are they tech savvy? Are their phones a lot? Do they watch certain podcasts, right? Once you get a better understanding of who your ideal client is, where they hang out and what their, idiosyncrasies are, you need to put a list together. I call it a Hot 100. Put a list together of where your customers may actually already be. And when I say put a list, let's start on social media. What influencers or what business owners or other products or what experts or whatever the case may be have your customers right now? So if I know that my ideal customer is listening to Chris's podcast, well, Chris's podcast should be on my list.
Mm-hmm.
Because now there's a leverage play. I can be like, yo, Chris, look, I got this business. Okay, can I buy ads? Can I buy ads on 4 of your episodes? How much would that cost? And because I want the ads to be native, can you make copy, or can I give you some copy that then you can repurpose and you say it, and then maybe in the intro mark or the mid roll or the end roll, you can put my commercial in there. And then there's a link that you're going to direct people to that may be in when they read the comments, or maybe you could just say my website or whatever. And then I just bought 4 episodes. Now Chris is just one person on your list of 100. Mm-hmm. But most people ain't going to do that, bro. Most people is not going to put a list together and actually work the list and then follow up on the list. But literally, if they made a list of where are my people actually hanging out at, and then what's the leverage plays that I could make happen to get in front of my audience that are already, part of this person's audience, that's how you earn traffic. And then obviously when you send them to your site, the site has to be as such where they understand what to do, because some people's websites are not, they're so confusing. So by the time they get to your website, the client got anxiety. They don't know what button to push. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They don't know, do I need to go to this link, then go to this link? Like it's so many different like ways for them to go,
Yeah. That's free game right there. And we appreciate that. I know we're running short on time, man. For the audience out there and for myself, we want to know what comes in your coaching program, what's all entails of it. I know you gave a little sneak peek right there, but what else is involved in the program?
So I got 2 coaching programs. I got one that focuses on your morning routine and focuses on you being more accountable, more productive. So if you're someone that wants to be more productive, you want to get more things done in a day. You were talking about that 1% growth. I might even, now that we talked about it, I might buy some ads on your show right now because you're talking about that. So if you want to be better every day, you want to be more productive. You want to just become a better version of you. I got a subscription-based product called the Winner's Circle, right? You're going to get your morning routine that you're going to master. There's a community for you to interact with, and they're going to be daily tracking metrics on the things that you should be doing. So now in real time, you can see, and the community and the community can see and encourage you as to, you actually doing the things that you do, the things that you need to do every single day to move the needle. And then user facing, there's going to be there's a metric system where as you're knocking out your things, you're actually keeping your own score. So then at the end of the week, you can be like, okay, I really crushed reading the book, but I'm trash on my journaling. I've been journaling, or I'm trash on hitting the gym. I'll hit the gym once this week. And then psychologically, that's going to help you be like, okay, next week I'm on it. I need to hit 7 in a row this week. So that product is $89 a month. That's called the Winner's Circle. Yeah. And then my high level product, that's called the Daily Beast. So it combines some of that accountability aspect with a business system. And there's these 8 secrets that I teach. Actually, you mentioned it earlier. My new book. Actually, I got a copy on run right now that just came from the print shop. I'll show you.
And is it out or is it dropping soon?
So by the time I hear this podcast, it'll be out. It's the 8 Secrets to Success playbook. And it exists in 3 versions. So the ebook is free. If you want a physical copy that's signed, you'll get that in a bonus audiobook. So you can get those together. It exists as a digital product, as a physical product, and then as an audiobook. But the high level coaching product, like I said, you'll get the accountability and you'll get the business system, and it's going to help you implement these 8 secrets. That's going to help you double, triple, quadruple your income and get you closer to your goals faster.
I love it. I love it. Just to wrap this thing up now, you guys are listening out there. This guy, he wants you to win. I can tell that he has a serving mindset, a serving heart. And he has products and resources that will help you get you to your goal, help you achieve what you want to achieve. So you guys definitely want to tap in with him. Man, before I let you go, I always have my guests leave the audience with one last piece of advice, one last gem. It can be mindset related, business related, entrepreneurship, whatever you want. And we'll end it on that note.
All right. I actually like what you said about, working to get 1% better. So we're going to throw that in there, and I'm going to say, don't be so hard on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And have some patience. So I think if you are not so hard on yourself, and every day you give yourself grace and you're grateful for the things that you have currently in your life right now, I think having that type of mindset combined with wanting to be 1% better every single day, a very small percentage, you're definitely in the right spot. You're definitely in the right spot. So I would really start there. Give yourself grace. Don't be so hard on yourself, and just be 1% better every single day.
Man, I love that. Love that. Where can people find you? Where can people purchase your products and whatnot? If they want to reach out to you, where can they get a hold of you?
So the easiest way to lock into me on all platforms is at ITS Brendan Boyd. So that's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, all the platforms. ITS Brendan Boyd. You can find me there. All my links are available. So, click the link in the bio, check out my podcast, grab a copy of the book. If you're interested in the Daily Beast, that's a program that you need to apply for, because it's for the right people. It's not for everyone. It's people that are ready for something like that. But the Winner's Circle is definitely something that I would encourage people to jump into, because we're talking about helping you be better for under $3 a day. So for like $2.91, I believe, a day, you could be better. That's less than your cup of coffee right now. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna get a bunch of homies and friends that you can build with on the journey of being better. And that's like you said, that's the key.
That's the key right there. And we'll definitely leave the links to everything that you just said in the description of this podcast. With that being said, I appreciate you once again for jumping on the podcast. Man, next time you in Dallas or I'm in LA, we got to do a live podcast together. I feel like that'd be a vibe. Man. That'd be a vibe 100%. If we did that. Yeah.
Sure. Pull up to LA. We got the studio, so we can definitely bang one down there. And I haven't been to Dallas in like a year, but I would love to visit with intention, tap in with you. Show me around a little bit more, and we'll lock in for another episode.
Oh, most definitely. All right. So with that being said, it's your boy Chris, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.